Hey guys, it's me, PK. Welcome to the podcast. Nobody wants to do with me. Episode 5. Um, been a tough week. Really tough week. So I didn't really know what to talk about in this podcast. I usually have something, hey, came to me. That's a good podcast idea. But this has been a real tough week and maybe a real tough 2 weeks for me. So I'm just gonna talk. We'll see where it goes. It's gonna probably ramble, but bear with me because like I said, I'm having a tough time dealing with a lot of changes still going on in my life physically, with my medical situation, with my financial situation. Um, with school, my 2 courses this semester or term were extremely difficult, and I felt very uncomfortable. I'm been feeling very uncomfortable with the work that I have to do. And here's the funny part about that, and this is where we're gonna go. So, funny part about that with the school, maybe I'll talk about that. The classes, my one of the classes is Intro to Applied Statistics or Statistical Analysis. That's what it is. Woo! That's all I can keep saying to this class. It has been so challenging to understand the concepts, to feel confident in the work I'm producing, even though, I'm like a B plus in this class right now. And that's not really understanding what I'm doing, or at least not feeling like I'm understanding what I'm doing and the concepts that are being brought up and everything like that. But, I said, hey, we're just gonna keep moving, keep doing what you're doing, because even though it's very uncomfortable to feel this way, like I don't know what I'm doing. And I think that's what more of it is just I don't get this, I don't get statistics. And I think I think I literally just accepted that just now, that I don't get statistics, and that's okay. So I think that's what it is. It's just like this is the first time I've had something that once is even explained to me over and over again. Looking at reading the book, reading, doing the assignments, looking at videos, that I find that's supposed to explain it to me better, gets a little bit better. Then we get to the next concept, and I'm like, I don't know what I am reading, seeing, hearing, or anything. And that's has been uncomfortable for me because I don't think I've ever well, if I've been there, I guess I've been able to say, okay, well, I don't need to continue to learn that or know anything else about it, and I may stop. So maybe that's where the uncomfortability is coming from, is that I can't stop because I got to finish these classes. So we're almost done. Like I got 2 weeks to go, literally 2 weeks. And I've never been so happy for 2 weeks to come and go. But I think that's what it is, and I think just really acknowledging it, that I don't get statistics. I don't get it. I didn't think I would anyway, but I had to take the class. Um, but I also think maybe that's the lesson because, I'm going back to something I think I've said in a video before or something where either things are the blessing is just out right there or it's a lesson to your blessing. So maybe the lesson to the blessing, because certainly taking this class immediately was not an immediate blessing, not at all. But maybe my lesson in taking this class is learning how to continue to move in a very uncomfortable situation, unfamiliar to you. And it remains unfamiliar to you because I'm like, okay, 6 weeks in, and this work is still unfamiliar to me. It is still uncomfortable. It is still very difficult and challenging to do the assignments. And I'm not used to that. Like, I'm used to, okay, that was tough, but hey, I had fun doing it. I had fun learning something. I'm not having fun with this class. I am not having fun with statistics. And that's okay. I'm realizing, talking it out right now. And maybe that's what this podcast really is about, me just sometimes talking things out. But anyway, uh, yeah, I think I've talked that out, that this has been the lesson, learning how to continue to work with something, learn something, or, learn this way where I'm not really feeling like I'm learning. But then I was having a conversation with somebody about the class earlier this week, and I remember being able to actually articulate something I learned in a class. I don't really know what I really said, but but I remember saying about the class, and then I remembered something from the class. So that was something different. And now again, just trying to spin positive on it. But this has been a very difficult class. And then my second class I'm taking is Intro to Sociology, which I was very excited to take the class, um, thinking what I thought it was going to be about. But I think because this class has been very heavily about in, inequality, discrimination, uh, those topics. It's been a heavy, like an emotionally, mentally uh, heavy class for me, because I think of what is going on in our world, in our country, in our neighborhoods, in our community, in my own life, whatever, um, who I am in this world. Um, that class has been very heavy, and I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like enlightening and um, and make me very intrigued, which, it does that, but it's been heavy because of some of the stuff we're reading about and learning about, and articles and research I have to do, and the paper that I'm doing in light of what is going on in the world. It is becoming extremely heavy, heavy, heavy class. So heavy, in fact, that we have to do like these discussions every week. And this week's discussion was so heavy. The reading was so heavy for my spirit. I couldn't participate. I found no way to say anything that I wanted to say or discuss. It just I couldn't find the words. I couldn't find the words to put down without becoming like I got choked up. I got uh, s- just paralyzed in trying to talk about discrimination or inequality. And in this particular case, it was about school, education, and some of the readings that we had to read in the chapter. It was just so much, because what's going on in our world as it relates to education and how it's being used, or even to realize it's always been used in some cases as a weapon against people. And that hurt me to my soul. Yeah, it just really did. It hurt me to my soul to read the history and then see that history still trying to be played out again. Like, what? Um, so it was just really deep and too heavy for me. And I made a decision to not participate this week in my discussion. It's gonna ding my, I think I got an A in that class right now. It's gonna ding it a little bit, but I also felt for my own sanity, for my own trying to get through it, I had to just stop because I kept going back. I kept trying to write something. I kept trying to put something out there. But all I was kind of angry and hurt and sad and disappointed. And I was like, that's not really what this discussion is about. And maybe I should have wrote all that. I don't know. But I feel like I get riled into that, and it's just that's a road sometimes you don't want to take, especially in a forum, you don't know everybody. This is not like this is people I know and I know what they're going to think or how they're going to receive it. And I think that's what I felt like. I felt like whatever I could really say at this point in time, it was not going to be, wasn't going to be positive. And so I think sometimes I just shut down if I can't find a way to see some positivity or find a way to make it a little lighter for me. Doesn't have to just completely be, oh, I'm just so happy about writing about this. But I need it to be a little less heavier than it was because it was extremely heavy. And so I just stopped. I said, okay, I'm just not going to participate this week in discussion. And I didn't. And once I made that decision, the heaviness left a little bit. And I was a and then I just, I went and said, let me look at something that's just gonna lighten my soul right now. Like I said, talked about last time, laughter. So I've been finding things that just make me laugh. I have certain shows that consistently make me laugh, and I'll just go find like that episode I know is gonna make me laugh. And yesterday, since I was feeling that heaviness about this thing yesterday, in particular, yesterday, because that was like the due date, and so it really got heavy, heavy yesterday. So one of the things I did do, and just to get back to the laughing thing, but like I said, I'm gonna come back. We've got a 30 days on that. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to episode 4 about hugs and laughter and laughs. But anyway, just thinking about laughing again. So I watched Abbott Elementary, and I forgot that I had a couple of episodes I forgot to go back and watch. And that came to my mind. I was like, oh, I'm gonna finish Abbott Elementary. And that show just continues to I can't even get choked up on it now. That show continues to lighten my heart and spirit. I hope I say her name right. Quinta Bronson. What you have done with that show, it's just beautiful. If you haven't seen Abbott Elementary, get it, find some way to see that show. When I say the show is always funny, it's all but in a serious way. Not funny in like there's other shows supposed to be comedy and that I watch that I find like I'm like trying to find the humor in it. And it's supposed to be a comedy, but it's so dark, so dark. The comedy's so dark, I can't find the humor sometimes. This show, however, is a comedy that takes some very heavy issues and make them light enough that you can absorb the issue, but absorb it in a light enough way that it will make you think, but it will leave you a positive feeling. I just always have a positive feeling after I watch this show. And so I watched the 2 episodes that I had missed yesterday, and that just so helped me so much. I can't even really, I just thank you. Like I said, big shout out to Abbott Elementary and particularly Quinta Bronson because she is the creator of that. This comes from her, but the show literally is everyone. All of the cast, they whoever she brings into this show always has um, a role, like they are just one of the best probably ensemble casts shows out here. Just one of the best. So shout out to that. Abbott Elementary. I love you. I love you. I love you because you made a day that was so, so heavy for me. And then I watch a couple of your episodes and I'm left with people are still good. even when we don't see it too much, mm, that people still are good and good to each other. And there is still love out here for humanity, you know what I'm saying? And that a tough situation doesn't have to stay tough. So I just so grateful for that with her. And like I said, didn't know where this podcast was going to go. Did not know it was going to end up being a lot about leading from statistics to sociology to Abbott Elementary. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop because I said I didn't want to really make these very, very long. But I did wanna make one each week, so I'm gonna try to get one out every Friday. Cross your fingers, pray for me about that, that I get them out every Friday. And please listen. Listen to it. You don't have to listen to all of it. Listen to some. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment. Something. I'm really trying to get this channel to reach more people because that's my goal. Just let me reach people, God, through uh me, the ministry of me. What that means all entails, I don't know. But I do feel like I'm ministering to myself, so maybe I'm ministering to somebody else too. So, um, with that, I'm going to say that's a wrap for episode 5. And I'll see you next time on the podcast Nobody Wants to Do with Me. Bye bye, guys.